Well, there are conversations coming out of the Indiana Hoosiers practices. We're going to talk about some of the happenings coming out of the practices on this episode. Let's get into it.
1 for 3 on the way.
Hello, guys, and welcome to Indiana Sports Connection. I am your residential anchor, Aaron. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this Indiana Hoosiers community. So I have all of these, and this was on a podcast that I just watched this last week. Sleepers Media came out with this list. Now, some of the items on this list have been on a few different people's Instagram pages, so I believe that's where they got it from. But here are some of the things that they've been talking about with Indiana basketball, just certain players on this list, and we're just going to get into it and talk about it. But if this is your first time here, thank you so much for being here. Hit that subscribe button down below if you want to join the community, if you want to join the movement here at Indiana Sports Connection. I appreciate it. It's totally free to do. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and support the work that we're doing here covering Indiana sports. Now that we got all of that out of the way, let's get into talking about the Indiana Hoosiers. All right. Well, stuck in my throat. All right, so the first person on this list is Ja'Kai Newton, and the main thing that people are saying about Ja'Kai Newton is that he is a physical freak. Well, let's just play the clip of what they said about Ja'Kai Newton.
Ja'Kai Newton, basically he's an athletic freak. Like, just they're all completely wowed by speed, strength, jumping ability, everything. Like, he's an athlete they have not seen in a very long time. Do you buy that?
I do buy that because I think he was that before he got hurt. And also, like, there's footage of this dude, like, hitting the highest point on the vertical test.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
and also he's shaped like a football player.
I buy the athleticism. We've seen the athleticism. I don't know if athleticism like that translates to being a good basketball player at all. Like, I'd almost...
I'm not...
So, yeah, I would agree with what they said about that. Ja'Kai Newton, he's got to show some basketball skill. All I hear about the guy is how physically dominant he is, and I would like to hear a little bit more about, does he have a good shooting touch? Does he have this and that? You know, not get hyped up about things that, in the end, they're all good, but in the end, we need to put the ball in the basket. All right, next on the list, Miles Rice. So one thing kind of concerning that they said about Miles Rice is, let's run the clip.
Lots of bullet points on Miles Rice just being one of the best players in the gym. They said his work ethic and leadership are the most impressive thing. Like, he's waking up super early hours in the morning. He's pretty much already become the leader on this team. Coaches believe he has a chance to be the best leader since Yogi Ferrell. Also seems to me like a pass-first point guard. What does that mean? Do you buy the leadership and pass-first stuff, and then what?
So saying that he is a pass-first guard is not that reassuring to me as an Indiana Hoosier fan. This guy is going to have to make three-pointers, and he's going to have to make them at a pretty good clip to make this team get better. After we go through all these, I'm going to just give you my overall synopsis on what I think because of this list, and really some concerns I have going into this season based on all of this stuff. So coming out of practice, the best shooters are, in order, are Luke Goody, Mbako. So they've been number 1 and 2 in the shooting, and then Gabe Cup's number 3. And they said in this episode, you know, and I agree with them, Gabe Cup's is, having him as our third best shooter is not good. I'd much rather see that Miles Rice or Kanan Carlisle or Galloway and we'll talk about Galloway here in a minute, but I just would much rather see that we have multiple guys that can shoot from the outside. So let's move on to Oumar Ballo. Oumar Ballo, what they're saying about him, he's terrible at free throws. Then they say he's a good offensive player. And then at the end they say he's a limited offensive player. Ballo can't really shoot from more than 4 feet away. I don't know if he has kind of a hook shot that he's working on. And Galloway, what they say about Galloway, he it should be back for the season. So this knee injury has taken him out of all of the summertime stuff. And so Galloway, he will be getting back to the team. Hopefully, he can get practices in and everything like that before the season starts so that he is like ready to go, for the first game. But Galloway has basically been out for the entire offseason. Renew, what they're saying about Renew is that his right hand has gotten way better. I will believe that when I see it. He is the best player in the gym out of everybody. I believe that because Renew is a really talented player. He's been hassled by his bad decision making out on the court. Not a ton about him, but Renew will have to be a real standout on this team. Bryson Tucker, what they're saying about him, that his pull up, his mid-range, everything like that is really great. He is just really struggling with the defensive side of the ball, trying to play defense against top-level competition. So, and that's to be expected that he would struggle with that. I mean, I know some people thought, he might be a go to the NBA guy, and Kanan Carlisle, they're saying he is the fastest player on the team. But what I don't like to hear is nothing about the shooting of any of these guys. I would really love to hear that Carlisle and Miles Rice are able to knock down shots and be just a force in that way shooting, because, and I'll just give you my what a synopsis on the entire team right now is what I'm kind of getting the feeling of. You only have 5 positions on the court. Last year, I mean, if you look at the games where Kalel Ware was injured in some of the games, Mike Woodson still played Peyton Sparks at the 5 and Renew at the 4. So this team, Balo will play the 5, Renew will play the 4. It just gives you limited opportunities for guys to shoot. Mbako or Goody will play the 3, and then the 1 and the 2 spots it'll be Carlisle and Rice, or it'll be Galloway and Rice, or it'll be Cups playing the point guard. I don't have a great feeling if we still have 2 guards that really can't shoot 3-pointers, and we have 1 guy at the 3 again that can shoot 3-pointers, and we're going to try to run that pick and roll and have a rim runner and have Rice throw the passes out to guys on the perimeter off the pick and roll. We're not really statistically going to have that much different of a team than we had 2 years ago. I mean, you practically replace Miller Kopp with Goody or Mbako, and that's what you're going to get out of those guys if that's the type of style you're going to play in Mike Woodson's system. So I know they have a ton of talent, but Mike Woodson has to be able to see a different way for these teams to play for them to get over the hump, because, no pun intended, because what happened last year in a lot of games is statistically, because we shot so few 3-pointers, we're taking 9 to 12 3-pointers a game still this year. And then other teams are taking 30 and hitting 12 to 15. We're going to be out of a lot of games just based on that. And, I don't really want that to happen. And it's still July, so I'm not going to sit here and ramble on and on about this. But just some of the happenings going on with the team, and I thought I would share it with you all out there. So thank you for being part of Indiana Sports Connection. I do have a new segment on the show, Clip of the Day. So, Hillbilly Monkey, you want to take us away and show the clip of the day, and then we'll wrap up the show?
On the spot early. I'm pretty good at baseball, I think. I'm a lefty. I'll probably pitch. I'll be in the outfield, so baseball.
I think I'd want to be a swimmer.
Why?
Swimmer. I don't know. I just like the water.
Football.
Football? What position?
Really put me anywhere. I'd say probably running back or safety.
In another lifetime, I really believe I was a great shortstop or second baseman, but if I had to choose, it'd probably either be baseball or soccer.
Probably football. Be like a DB or something.
Football for sure. Quarterback.
Why football?
I played in high school. So I could have played in college, but I stuck with basketball. Probably baseball.
What position?
Catcher.
What?
Soccer.
Soccer. What position?
Striker. I'm gonna play soccer. I'm a good soccer player.
Soccer. What position in soccer?
I'm a striker.
Striker.
I don't move.
Well, there you have it. There's the clip of the day. Thank you so much for joining me today on Indiana Sports Connection. I am your residential anchor, Aaron. And until next time, stay classy out there, Hoosier fans.
Hello, friend.
These days, I think cybersecurity is now as important as physical security. That's why when I'm online, I use NordVPN. NordVPN uses next generation encryption to keep my passwords and data safe, which is especially important when I'm traveling and I'm on public Wi-Fi, which is more vulnerable to hacking. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be traveling for the holidays this summer. Use NordVPN, one account that will protect all your devices and computers. And with their 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose.